Hello, in today's video, I'm going to explain the storage connection in Microsoft Azure. So, I will keep this video very short and simple, but in the meanwhile, everyone will be able to understand how this flow of storage works. So, if in brief, if I want to tell you about Microsoft Azure storage, which is also called as core storage service, it contains of five types of storage. But before that, we will look into what is Azure storage. Azure Storage offers a massively scalable object store for data objects, a file system service for the cloud, a messaging store for reliable messaging, and a NoSQL data store. In NoSQL, here the Azure supports Cosmos DB. So we will look into details during this video. So the functionalities of Azure Storage Service is that it is durable, scalable, secure, managed, accessible. Durable means it can be used for means high duration as well as we can also do customer direction service, and scalable because it supports large vast quantities of data. It is encrypted, so obviously it will be secure. It can be managed and it is accessible using URLs, or we can call it as HTTP services. So the most important concept in Azure storage is Azure blobs, and blobs is nothing but it is a massively scalable object store for text and binary data, or we can call it unstructured data, those data which doesn't have any structure like video data, audio data like that, and it will also include support for big data analysis through data lake storage. Azure Files is managed the file share for cloud or on premise deployments. For Cube, it is a simply messaging store for reliable messaging between application components and clouds. A table is a NoSQL structure for schema store for structured data, and it is very simple to create that table. Azure Disk is the most important concept, and it is the block level storage volume for Azure virtual machines. And in virtual machines, here in Azure Disk, we can also create a schema, a demo disk in our local hard drive by using um, using the cloud connectors and the encryption connection between them, as we will be going through this video. So without further delay, let us start with the with creating a new storage. So for that, you will go to resource, create a resource. Over here, you will type the storage cloud, but here it is there storage account. You will go there. Here we will get an option to create the storage. So for here the subscription, as this is a free type subscription, so it will auto shown to this. Now suppose we have Azure for everyone, we will create a new resource group. Let us say we'll create a new resource group like Azure storage resource. Okay, so we will use this new storage, and for storage account name we will choose, let us say, demo storage 1. Okay, so you can see that it was showing that demo storage 1 is already been taken, so we will use demo storage n, and over here we will choose the location. So I will prescribe you to choose Central India because it is recommended by the system as well. As you can see, we will choose standard because the most of the scenarios that is built are in standard form like block storage, file storage, table storage, queue storage like that. So here the redundancy is showing geo redundant storage, but we will choose the locally redundant storage, and it is also a low cost option, but also it is highly prescribed for basic users, and for it is the most basic redundancy system. So we will go with that initially. So next we'll move to advanced to check whether everything is okay here in the storage account. And here there are two type of access tier, one is hot and one is cool. So we will choose hot because we will need to frequently access the data, because we are practicing on the data, so it is required us very frequently. So in case of cool, in case of the data that we are not required in daily to daily basis, or we don't need to update the data regularly, we can use cool. But for our system we will initially go with hot. So we will select review and create. So as you can see here, the data storage has been created, and here you can see all the details regarding my storage account. Here is the resource group, the location that is given, the storage account name that I have been given, the deployment model, its performance is standard as we have selected, and also locally redundant storage. And here also you can see that the access tier is hot that we have been selected. So we can select create. So this will take some time. It is showing that the deployment is in progress. So until that, over here, if you want to cancel your deployment, you can also click over here. But for now, we will check here. You can see that the resource icon is coming and the status is accepted. And this is the input check over here. Here all the important attributes regarding to our storage account has been given, and this is the output check. In here it is showing no deployment output because currently we don't assign any kind of task to our storage manager. So you can see that now our deployment is complete. So we can go to the resource. Here you can see the resource group, location, subscription ID, and this state which is showing available. And you can see our blob storage services. Initially file service is disabled because we are not selected large file share. As you can see initially in our checkbox, the option that has been given to us in selecting access tier, in the below button there is one option called we can enable large file share, but for now we can disable, we were disabled it because we only need a few files to show the demo about the storage, and we don't need large chunks of files. So for queue service it is enabled because we can auto generate the queue service as well as we can manually type it over the queue box, and for table service it is also enabled. So we can go to active log to see whether if there is any kind of log, but you can see that we are not performing any tasks currently. And these are the overview options. Here it is a data migration part. Here we can browse our different migration tool using resource type like Azure blobs, Azure files, ADLS Gen 2, local on premises files. These are the file that has been stored in our computer, have computer files and other cloud objects. For events, this is a checkbox we will use to check for the events that has been generated, but it will be more suitable when we are going to use logic apps like that. Storage explorer. Here there are four kind of storage explorer. As you can see, blob containers, file shares, queues, tables. We'll go through it. And here there is option of data storage where it is showing container, file share, queues, tables. We'll go through one by one in details. And for security and networking, as you can see here, there are two type of security keys. One is access keys and one is shared access signature, and both are used to connect to our local system. If you want to generate a storage, if you want to generate a temporary storage in our disk like that, in the PC, if you want to store a temporary storage over here in the below C drive, it will come as a demo temporary storage where we can store our data. But note that it is temporary, and For data management, here there is different parts like geo replication, data protection, object replication, blob inventory, static website, lifecycle management. Over here we can see the entire lifecycle of our selected file that has been used for management generation of the Azure storage. And over here we can we are having configuration, resource sharing, advisor recommendation, endpoints, logs, which will be used for mandate settings. So without further delay, let's create a sample storage using block storage explorer. So over here you can see that all the files are empty because we are not created any storage. So we'll right click on block containers, create block containers. Suppose we'll give demo block con. We will initially select the public access level as private, no anonymous access, and we'll create. So over here you can see that there is no file available. For uploading the file, we'll select upload, select a file, we'll up, we will upload this file and we'll do upload. So we will go on to the properties of the file. Here that you can see the URI. We will copy this URI and we will paste this over here. You can see that the error is coming that resource not found, and this is because in the in the creation of the blob storage we were selected the private, and for private you can see that no other URL can be accessed because it is already been set in private. To access this file, we will select it public. So for file shares, we will create a file share over here, and we will name a demo file share. Here the quota means the maximum gigabyte, so we'll select 10 and create. So you can see that our file share is been created. So here we can do two things: either we can directly upload a folder like that, means I'm showing, suppose I'm updating. One second. Here I'm uploading a PDF file. Here you can see that the PDF file exists, or we can do a new folder like that. We will rename the folder, and inside the folder we can also create multiple files as the storage of the file storage suggests. So for queues, we will create a new queue like demo queue like that, and don't confuse with the name. It is only it is number of messages that we will send. So you can see here we can set the expiry date, means till which date we will set this. So let us say we will give here seconds and 20 seconds. Okay, so this is a message. This is another message. This is another message. So this will be auto removed from within 7 seconds, because so for that we need to refresh this, and you can see that only this message has been kept because this has been set it as a time duration as 7 days and those are 7 seconds. So those are auto removed from our message, and this is the way that queue storage works. And last but not the least, we'll go with table storage. So for that we'll create a new table, demo table. Okay, we'll do add. We can give name, age, so I will give the name Santanu, age, to add property, sorry, and address bbsm. So we'll do insert. You can see that the partition key, the row key, the timestamp, and as well as the property that have been given to the table like name, is, address, all has been represented. And we can add multiple columns over here, and here in the column we also can select and choose the columns and select the properties. And for table statistics we will use the statistics for them, means statistics to find any kind of mathematical operations like that. And we can also add different rows, multiple rows to this table. So this is the demo overview concept of Microsoft storage, and we will continue with SQL part in the next video.